What's up, everybody? We're back with episode 52 of the 580 show. We're going to start this week off a little differently. It's just me on here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see that. We just wrapped up 580 Strongest. I just want to say how thankful, how proud, how overwhelmed I was about the response yesterday. We had a lot of people come out and watch. The first-time competitors did an amazing job yesterday. And I think we definitely sparked some interest in strongman. So I just want to start off by saying thank you for 580 Strongest. The real reason I'm starting off this episode, just myself, I have a big announcement. It's something I've been working on for the last almost 9 months. I started a supplement company for the gym, 580 Barbell Supplements, and our first product is here. It's ready to be purchased. It's our pre-workout horsepower, 580 horsepower. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see me holding it up right now. Our first flavor is watermelon. It's amazing, amazing taste. We debuted it yesterday at 580 Strongest, and everyone that purchased it or sampled it, they seem to actually love the taste. Big Joe did an amazing job with the labeling on here. If you guys can see, there's little speckles of chalk dust on the actual label around. You've got the 580 Barbell logo, our social media. We got the supplement facts. You can all check that out at 580barbell.com now. It's available for purchase. It can ship directly to you. It's $35. It's a 30 serving tub. Like I said, right now we just have watermelon. I'm already working on our next flavor, and I'm working on other supplements. So this is it's been a big goal of mine. I'm so proud of this project. I'm so thankful for everyone that has helped out. The few people that knew how hard it was to kind of keep this all in the last 6 to 9 months, because it's been so much work, and I'm just so proud of it. So yeah, it's always kind of been something I've been interested in. Me and my roommate in college, Tyler, used to bootleg pre-workout at the gym. We used to hand make our own and sell it for a little bit. So it's just to see it come full circle and to actually see this label here and have all the product in hand. I'm just so proud of it. I'm so thankful. So if you're interested, if you're local, you can buy it direct. If not, and you want to support the pre-workout, go to 580barbell.com, purchase, and I will get it shipped out. And shipping is next day. So I'll be able to just have my label printed out, ship it directly to you. So $35. Go buy 580 Barbell Horsepower Watermelon right now. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoy our interview with Anthony Fuhrman. It was a great one. Thank you all so much. 1 year of this podcast. We're coming up 1 year of the gym. Thank you guys so much. So enjoy the episode. Show. Appreciate everyone tuning in again. Episode 52. We're joined with Anthony Fuhrman.
Yo.
Man, thank you so much for coming on. We talked about you a little bit last week, so we were just like, why not just grab them and bring them on here? So thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I love doing this stuff.
So I want to just kind of jump right into it. You kind of obviously shook the game up last year, like, COVID year. You kind of just took over, stole the show. I think everyone, when you announced Clash on the Coast, it was kind of like, what the hell is going to happen, right? No one really knew.
Yep.
I think you're a big name, a prominent name in strongman from competing before. So you knew what you were doing. You've competed, but I don't think anyone, at least I'm speaking for myself, I think it exceeded expectations to where it's at now, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess my thing is, what did you learn from the first year running Clash on the Coast, and what do you want to improve on from your first year and take it into this year?
Yeah. So, when I did that announcement, it was really, I had a little bit too much to drink one night, and I was like, I'm tired of this. I want to run a show for 105s where they actually get paid. And I went on this big long rant, and I called Jackson, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. And then a week later, we announced with no plans, no venue. I learned a couple things. One, I work well under pressure. Uh, but it grew to this thing where, then I got in contact with World's Ultimate, and we talked about possible ESPN stuff. And it was like, whoa, wait a minute, wow, like this could be a real thing. Is it, because the one thing I was not going to do was another show that's already been done and another backyard gym, convention. I wasn't going to do any of that. I had a very specific vision. Um, Early 2000s World's Strongest Man vibe. That was kind of what I was going for, because that's one of my favorite eras. And I thought, we've never been able to do this. I wish I would have been able to do something like this. And if I can't, I got to at least try to give other people it, right? Leading up to it, I learned that getting money from people is not easy. We definitely came out of pocket a lot more than I was comfortable with. But I just kind of had the mantra that I'm not spending money, I'm investing money. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how I had to take it, and that softened the blow a little bit, and then again the support. Everybody was so fucking excited, and it was just like I mean, I get humbled all the time when I just think about like how the community has like gotten behind it, the idea. And I think the idea was, what was my idea was, I'm tired of being undervalued as an athlete. I work just as hard as any of these open guys getting this money and getting these invites. Just as hard. We all do. We probably work harder. I'm just gonna say it. We probably have to work a little harder. Me getting to a 800-pound deadlift took a lot more work than some of these guys to get to an 800-pound deadlift.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And we tear our bodies up and all that stuff. And I was like, enough's enough. Like, I wasn't in a position quite to change it, but I knew that I had to try. So as far as the show goes, I mean, the biggest thing I learned is the team around you makes everything. I don't, in the grand scheme of all the Clash stuff, I don't do anything. That's how I look at it. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy that'll say things and make it, and everyone has to catch up,
Yeah.
But the team around me, just when it comes to my partner, TJ with Strength League, girlfriend Ariana, Jackson that first year, we're actually be working with Tyler Purdue now as a director of operations for the Clash series. And they make, I don't know, I may be the wheel, but they're the gears. If that, I guess, would be a analogy. I mean, they make us move. First year went great. The video stuff I learned, when I saw it on TV, it didn't quite look like ESPN level video. So we kind of learned that have to upgrade, have to spend the money.
Sure.
The audio stuff too. There were some, issues here and there, but for how it went, man, I mean, some normal stuff went wrong, like every comp, but we reacted well. And a great team. Nick Best saved the day on the squats. Yeah, the response and the star building power that show had still blows my mind. Nicholas Canby, that he's becoming a household name much more than I was ever, because it started at Clash. Nadia and Corey and Mel, they got wuss invites because of their exposure on Clash, breaking all them records. And it's humbling that I was able to come up with something that can really enhance these athletes' career.
I think that was definitely Canby's coming out party, because no disrespect to him, he's obviously was strong before and a great competitor before, but I think that really just kind of like, dude, he's on a run that it's like, it's insane right now. And he's just literally one of them. I'm talking open, but got open males all the way down. He's a household name now. So it's
Yep.
crazy. So
And
that's
it couldn't be to a
awesome.
better guy. He, and he never had that one big pressure win. That was one thing he was lacking.
Mhm.
He got that at Clash, and it's just it unleashed hell on the rest of the 105s. Because good
Yeah.
luck, everyone.
Well, from having a bottle of alcohol, you sounds like you kind of just spoke it into existence and just it's
It honestly, it's just you know everybody's afraid to fail at some level. And why I've been successful in athletics, I was a very successful Army recruiter. I'm not afraid to fail and take chances because worst could happen is you fail. And if you're afraid of failing, you'll never win.
Mhm.
So
100%.
Yeah.
That's cool. So we talked about it a little bit last week. You've been kind of throwing out the posts on Instagram and stuff like the 80s, come get your seat at the table, the 90s, the 64 women, some other classes. What can we expect for that? Is there anything you can kind of like
yeah,
tell us?
yeah. So I'll tell you what I can. I'm not going to say things before they're done because I don't want to look like a fool in 2 weeks.
Sure.
Um,
100%.
but so we're hosting these one-off pro shows this year. Couple reasons. I mean, one, because of the support of athletes around the country, I'm able to host these shows. I'm not hosting them. People are hosting them on behalf of Clash, behalf of the Strength League, right? So because of the community, first and foremost, is why these are happening. So thank you, everyone, just everyone, because without you, none of this works. And I was like, 105s, we're killing it. It's working. Like, why can't we try to do this with the other classes? From the beginning, of course, everyone's been saying, "Hey, what about us? Hey, what about us?" And I'm like, "Hey, slow your roll, everyone. Let me get this established first."
You get there.
Yeah, and now we're a year in. It's been about a year since we announced. Actually, I saw some memories came up on my Facebook reminding me that I announced it a year ago. Like, holy shit! So they're going to be one-off shows. I'm going to invite the podiums from corresponding OSG classes. So top 3 from OSG will get an invite. I think this is safe to say.
Come on.
I'm also going to be inviting the podium from USS Nationals in their corresponding weight classes.
Okay.
So those are the only two ways now. There's no other federation that can get in based off their whatever they do.
Right.
So USS podium for their corresponding weight class, and then the OSG. That's 6 spots, and then we're going to do an online qualifier for about 9 or 10 more.
I was going to ask that. So that'll be the other way to qualify.
Yep, and that's just the first year. As we expand, I'm getting a lot of international interest. I mean, we have international 105 regionals scheduled for next year. And if that continues, I'll have to look at maybe adding a class or maybe working with their, Australia's strongest man and woman, see if I invite that type thing and just have fewer online qualifiers. But for the first year, that's how it's going to run. And it's going to be the pro experience. Unfortunately, I can't afford to pay for all 15 athletes, like travel. But we are covering 2 days of hotel for every athlete.
That's awesome.
And I am doing a 10K minimum prize pool.
Wow.
Okay.
That is awesome.
So it's one of those things where, we're all out there. All these local promoters are out there hustling, trying to get that money. And that's one of the conditions when they accept, is I say, hey, you guys got to help me come up with this money. This is your show. Your name's going to be attached to it. And we're doing it, and I think people are learning that it is hard to get money, but it's not impossible. Just because it's hard doesn't mean you can't do it.
Right.
So now is the 91 kilo women class, that's brand new to strongman?
Yeah, brand new to strongman. I've been in this sport a long time.
Okay.
And you always hear about the heavyweight men have weight classes, the heavyweight women don't. Sure. And when you look at a lot of the competitive heavyweight women, a lot of times they're hovering around that 200, but they can't quite get the big wins because they're competing against when they're 60, 70 pounds heavier. Sure. Much like a 231 competing against a 300 pounder.
Yep.
And actually Tyler Purdue brought this to my attention, said, hey, let's try this. And I was like, hey, fuck it. Let's try it. Let's see if it works. Let's see if there's interest. Because it's always the worst ideas are the one you don't act on. Mm-hmm. It might not work, but that's okay. Or it might work and we might help create a whole new level of athlete for these women.
Sure.
So that was the thinking behind that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So just to kind of go back a little bit with online qualifiers, how do you envision, you may not know right now because we're still a little bit out. So I'm an 80 kilo guy, right? So and I want to do the online qualifier for Clash to get to the 80s. How do you envision that? Like 2 events, 3 events, 5 events?
So we're probably going to, I'm kind of running a beta test. I won't say a beta test because it's live, but the 105 international call we're doing, the way we're doing it is old school CrossFit Open style, where we announce the event on Thursday. You have till Sunday night to complete it. So far, it's been pretty good. I'd say of all the people signed up, we have about half the people that submitted videos, which ain't bad because the sign up's free. That's the downside.
I was gonna give you props. The sign up is free.
It'll always be free. And
we gave you props on that last week.
The pro shows, there will be no entry fee for these pro shows. That's what makes them pro. The only reason there's an entry fee for the regionals is 1, it's not technically a pro show, and 2, it helps the local promoter pay out. But I can say this: every single penny that comes to Strength Elite and Clash goes back into Strength Elite and Clash. Every cent.
Awesome.
I have not spent one dime in a year plus now of that money on anything but, well, charity. But yeah, everything goes back in, and that's the way it's going to stay until I feel that the athletes are sufficiently taken care of, which will probably never. But
yeah,
that's the goal. I'm not going to start a thing to make money off people, because that's not why I started, to get money to people. And I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of athletes funding the sport.
Right. So, well, that's awesome. When do you think some of these events will take place? Like, are we talking like summer next year, or are we talking like end of 2022, 2023?
Yeah, so it's looking. I'm trying to be courteous, and I'm keeping them as much far away from OSG as I can, just because I don't want to put any burden on the athletes. And Lynn's a very good friend. He's always been good to me, and the last thing I want to do is be a negative factor in his shows. So we're looking. I mean, May is the 64 women, and we're looking everywhere from July to September for the rest of them. I want to keep them that way because I don't want to start taking people's off seasons away. That November to February, January, February is traditionally nothing, which athletes need.
Right.
So I don't want to go throwing shows in, making these athletes have to decide and go year round.
Yeah.
So awesome. Yeah, that's what we're looking at.
Actually, some of those big guys, man, they compete every freaking month, right? Like they're competing constantly. So you take away that 3 to 4 month period at the end of the year and the beginning of the year. When do they get to rest and recover?
Well, I got to tell you, if I was getting paid what they get paid, I'd probably compete that many times too.
Yeah, well,
yeah. You have to.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't get paid. It's not like they get fuck you money, but it's a living.
Yeah. It's enough to focus on just that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't do the 80s on September 4th next year, because that's the day I get married.
That's the day I was doing it.
You can have it at your wedding, Josh.
I know it'll happen that way. So.
Yeah, where are you getting married at? I'll change it. I'll change the venue.
Oglebay, West Virginia. Let's go.
Oh, never mind. I lied.
So you're from up here. I didn't even mention that yet. You're from Erie originally, correct?
Erie, Pennsylvania, born and raised. Got the hell out of there when I was 18.
So we're all from Pittsburgh. Opened up a gym right outside the Pittsburgh airport. So we're like 15 minutes from there.
How long have you been open?
So I announced the gym 1 year ago today.
Oh, nice.
It popped up on my memories today. And so it was 1 year ago today we announced that we were opening. We officially opened, I think, with like shutdowns and stuff. We were officially open on like February 2nd, I think was our first day. But nice. It's a huge old bingo hall. There was a bingo hall for.
I love Western PA.
Yeah. So
my parents still go to bingo every Thursday.
Yeah. So it didn't close down because of COVID. It closed down because the older people could no longer walk down the steps, and there's no handicap access. So we literally just fell onto an old, it had green floor and that old, it looks like probably like your middle school cafeteria.
Does it smells like cigarettes and stuff?
Oh, I can't even tell you, dude.
Yeah.
I scrubbed those walls for.
That's another thing. I actually, Ariana, she never been to like any of that part of the country really. And I took her home and we went to the Polish Falcons club. She didn't know what a club was.
Yeah.
And she's like, I was like, and my dad explained it like, hey, you pay a membership and then you get cheaper drinks. And she goes, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Is it a bar?" I'm like, "No, it's a club." Like,
Yeah, it's
It's
like you
like-
have to be.
That's
So
it.
that's the fun. So where we're located above us, my landlord is an American Legion club, so a military club. So
Yeah.
our name was founded like 580. The brand we're building is in honor of that organization because they're post 580.
oh, no, nice.
So
I-
we trained in a garage and we just kept growing and growing, and then I finally just opened and we had no idea for a name. And one of the commander or one of the guys from there, he wrote down Barbell 580 just on an envelope for me. And I was like, 580 barbell sounds pretty good. So it just kind of stuck. And
actually does.
yeah,
Simple.
so that was just kind of how 580 barbell came about. But yeah, when I tore that bingo stage up, I found cigarettes from like 1930.
I love it. That's
But
that's the charm of Western PA. People don't get.
yeah, but it looks a lot different now, luckily, and smells a lot different. So we're working
Funny.
on it.
So a couple of years ago, when I thought I was getting out of the army a little earlier, I actually planned on opening a strongman gym in Pittsburgh because there wasn't a big presence.
Mhm.
Right.
But now, screw it. No, I'm joking. I settled. We'll be opening a gym up in Nashville, actually.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's nice.
Strengthly
That's awesome.
compound.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pittsburgh was definitely on one of my places because it was closer to home. I love the area, and they didn't really have a big presence. So I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah, there's so many people up here. Like we just get a lot of travel just like on Saturdays. Like we do a strongman Saturday. It's free to anyone that wants to come down. I mean, anyone, if you come on Saturday, free, no charge, anything like that. And we get a lot of travel from, north up here. We have a big group that comes from up near Erie.
Yeah.
We've got like Akron, Cleveland area, we're like other side of Pittsburgh. So this area is pretty good. And there's a lot of people that want to compete around here.
I saw on one of your podcasts that Erie might host a nationals event.
Yep.
Yeah. This year.
Like
Strongman
it's going to?
Yeah. Well, it's not official yet.
I think it's one of in the final locations. It's one of the.
Has anyone involved in deciding that been to Erie or?
Well, if it's in the summer, it'll be nice.
Yeah,
right?
let's not do it in the winter.
There is no summer.
About a week long in June,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. July 4th weekend's about it. It's the nicest time of the year.
I won't complain though because it's close for me. So that would suck to travel to. Though. I
Oh
will
shit,
say that.
that's right. We do have an airport, I think.
Is
Yeah,
there?
the Tom Ridge Airport.
There you go.
It's a regional airport. It's not even a national one.
No directs there.
Yeah, you can go to Buffalo. That's about it. Oh Lord. Anyways, Erie.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. So we talked about how Clash got started this upcoming year. And this is a hard question to answer, I get it, but what's your goal like 3-5 years? Where do you see Clash being?
That's a tough one. I get asked that all the time by investors, when people want to invest and stuff. And my answer is generally the same, and it hasn't really changed. I see Clash and Strength Fleet being a pillar for the athletes in the community. That's really what I want it to be. I want it to be something that exists. You've heard it, to serve the athletes. That people first has been my mission. When I was a squad leader, platoon sergeant, take care of your people take care of you. And that's how I run my business. And that's how I run these competitions, because without people, you have nothing. And I think in 3 to 5 years, I think we're going to have a lot more people being served by Strength Fleet and Clash. And the more lives you can touch in a positive manner, that's the goal. I mean, that's always the goal. And I think if we're able to maintain that goal and keep that vision, keep that mission statement, that we'll be just fine. Because people can sniff bullshit from a mile away.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's admirable for sure. Very admirable.
And again, we're blessed that my partner that co-owns, he's retired Army. I'll have a retirement pension coming in, so we're not in this for the money.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to break even first. First, we want to break even, but after that, it would be nice if you had some income, because then it gives you more latitude to reinvest and do more creative, better things. I want to get a fleet of bugs made up for car flips. but I ain't got that kind of money.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, there's that. And then also one of my passions, what I really want to do is eventually start a nonprofit to work on communities, strengthen your communities, with weightlifting or just motivation, go in there, rip some phone books, fun stuff. But I want to start a nonprofit too. That's a big goal of mine eventually. So yeah, there's a lot of things. And it, like I said, it all circles back to just take care of people first.
Sure. Yeah, that's one thing that you've said consistently on social media is people first, always people first. And I really like that statement. So
yeah, the Army's actually trying to use that, but they don't do it right. Because
trademark it?
No, I'm saying they screwed up. They're like people first, as they like put you in a closet.
You'd at least get a paycheck out of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's always that paycheck. So yeah.
So what do you what else do you have to talk about with Clash? Is there anything that anything that's you want to say about it that isn't out yet? Anything you're excited for coming up? You got an event this Saturday, right? The Atlas Stone stuff.
Yep. So what that is, again, the freaking community, man. Darren was like, "Hey, I'm hosting this world record. I want to bring it to you first because I don't want the other federations to put their hands on it." And I was like, why? Because they'll screw it up. And I was like, all right, man, what do you need from us? And he goes, just support and share. And he came up with that whole thing on his own.
Yeah.
And wanted to fly under the Strength League banner. It's humbling. It's like, I didn't think I'd be here 2-3 years ago when I was winning those world titles. I was the flashy with my nice part in my hair, all that crazy stuff. And now being in a position to help others instead of myself, it's been the most fulfilling thing. When Nicholas, like when he won Worlds, watching him win World's Strongest Man was definitely better than my wins. I was so happy for him. And so yeah, it's been very beneficial to me to be able to step back and help others. So
do you think you could ever see, let's call it the Clash series, ever actually developing into its own federation? Or is that kind of like I'm trying to stay away from that?
I'm honestly trying to stay away from it. I like being unsanctioned and not answering to anybody but myself, because once you get into a federation, if we do it right, maybe someday. Let me back up a little bit. If we do it right, maybe someday. But the current federation model, there's no way. I don't have any interest in charging anybody to do anything. I have no interest in having the quality decline the more shows you have with,
Sure.
I'm perfectly content with using the other ones as feeder systems for the elite level. Because so many people do it for a hobby. And it's beautiful. And they have that option already, especially USS. I think if you want to get in a strongman, $30 a month, or not even a month, $30 a year, and then go do their things, right? That's for the people that just want to have fun, right? And I envisioned Clash and Strength League kind of being the higher end type thing, and doing it right. So I don't want to. Plus, man, all this drama and stress, I ain't got no interest in.
Yeah. One example I use too. I think all three of us started in powerlifting like before we did strongman. And if you look at powerlifting, there's seriously 50 federations in the US, and that's not a joke. There's literally 50. And it's like, it's just annoying that everyone says they have a world record and everything. It shouldn't annoy me, but it does, because I don't really know why it does, but it's just I don't know. It's just there's too many cooks in the kitchen, and there's 8 world championships. And
yeah, no, it's that's something I will always say with Clash is we recognize the most weight lifted. I don't care where it was done. It could have been done. I don't care. I really don't care where it's done. If it's most weight lifted, it's most weight lifted. I don't care if it wasn't under my sanction. That's bollocks, as my English friends would say.
Yeah. So what's the heaviest stone that's going to get lifted this Saturday?
Yo, them boys are saying they're going to get that 500.
So did you see I'm sure you saw the bar they made for it?
Yeah.
I was messaging them today. I was like, dude, that thing came out amazing. I was talking to him this morning.
I actually might be doing a unique stone thing with a few of those at Clash finals.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, I got some pretty cool things. I will say one thing. Here's what I'll give you. The plans right now, it hasn't been built yet, but for the Clash 105s, we're bringing back the fridge yoke.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Like with the fridges on the side.
Yeah. Wow.
So we're still working on the schematics of it, but if it's feasible, we're doing it.
I love that.
Yep.
Yeah, I like keeping strongman weird with stuff like that. And it like, I think it has like, I say it all the time. I think strongman has such a potential to be such a spectator sport with not putting the athletes at risk. Like you can still just do a yoke run or like at OSG, they do the car yoke instead of just a yoke. And like if an average person's if my dad's watching it, he's watching one lane do a regular yoke and one lane do a car yoke, he's gonna pay attention to the car yoke because it just looks cooler.
Yeah, Lynn knocked that out of the park.
It's insane. That's some cool stuff.
And that was a way better looking car yoke than the one we used.
Yeah.
Ours was harder though.
Yeah.
That looked rough.
Yeah, it didn't look fun. I remember I was sitting there watching and guys kept having trouble and I'm like, oh man, somebody better finish this. Same with the car deadlift. Everyone zeroed and I was like, oh shit. Then Sean did 11. I was like, all right, we're good.
Yeah. Didn't the wheel fall off of yours?
The axle broke because they dropped it so many times. So we had to like jerry rig it with a ratchet strap and it was fun.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw Clash on TV, I was literally at a blackjack table at a local casino. And I looked up and there was Strongman on ESPN2. And I was like, what the hell is happening? I thought I was tripping. I'm like, why would there, it was like a Saturday night with like college football on or something too. Yep. And I was like, or college basketball, maybe, I forget what the time frame was when it dropped, but I was like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, is this Clash?
Yeah, man. It was breathtaking to see Strongman back on ESPN.
That's so insane. Yeah, it is. Cause I think almost every strength athlete can relate to the old World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yep.
I just remember on Christmas, like I just always remember World's Strongest Man being on around Christmas.
I remember sitting at my grandpa's house during the summer when my parents were working there babysitting me. I was like 6 or 7. I'd watch Magnus Ver on ESPN in the middle of the day, because I didn't want to watch the soap operas with my grandma, so I'd go in the other room.
Right. So let me ask you a question. This is just a random thought. I'm thinking about televising and everything. And this is before we ever talked to you or anything. We defended you on this podcast, probably like the 5th episode, because I get pissed off. And I own a gym. I have a normal job. I don't have the TV deals, all that shit. But I always said, so we're in the social media era. So like when Stoltman wins World's Strongest Man, we all know. Okay. But then we have to wait until Thanksgiving to see him win. Okay. And it's in May or June. And yours was on a lot quicker. So yours happened and then it was pretty much televised a lot. Not the next day, but it was
a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Soon-ish.
Yeah.
Like my thing with World's Strongest Man is it happens. We all know who wins, and it almost airs so long after that you forget what happens. Do you think there's a way eventually to have Clash or World's Strongest Man, any strongman event happen and then air within like a week or two?
It's tough, man, with the editing required. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
And for as much shit as World's Strongest Man gets, there's yet to be a strongman show that looks better.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I'm not knocking them because
I love the format they use because I don't have to fucking sit there and watch a bunch of shit I don't want to see.
The production value it's insane. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, I think personally that we're just in this era of media gratification, and I promise you that the quality would suffer.
Yeah.
And while some people may be okay with that, those aren't the people that we're trying to attract. The World's Strongest Man is not trying to attract strongman fans.
Yeah, that's
you guys,
true.
We're going to watch it no matter what. And that's a lot of people, they don't think outside that box. And I had to start thinking that way with Clash and all this stuff. Is like, I don't need the people that love this sport or love 105s because they're there. How do I get outside of that? In one way, it's quality production. So yeah, I mean, while ideally they probably could pay somebody enough money to get it done in a week or two, but I don't know if you guys ever like mess with actual like production people. They're expensive.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
I've heard
did a
stuff
whole
about
show.
live streams. But it was just, we were talking about the TV and
What'd you have to defend me for?
because you were on a lot faster and people were telling us that World's Strongest Man could never be on like the next month.
It could. It would just. They did this year, I thought, actually.
No.
Yeah,
They
June.
they did it in like portions, like
Yeah. Like
certain heats and stuff were going on in 1 month, and the next week would be another one or something.
Like you didn't see the finals this year until
Denver.
I think it was October.
Did they air the finals?
I think.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I get so confused. I already know what happened, and I don't know.
You know Tom Stolten won, so it's like,
But that's a good point, though. Like that, they're not trying to attract me because I own a strongman gym. I'm going to pay attention.
Yeah.
That's a good point. See, that's why I bring up those questions because that makes sense.
Yeah,
like that's
what it mostly boils down to be honest. It's nothing. They're not doing it for their own gain. Well, they are, but they're not doing it just because.
Right. They care about us, I'm sure, but they already have us.
Yes.
It's like
any business,
Right.
Someone that's loyal to Jordan, you don't need them. They're going to buy Jordans every time you release them. How do you get the guy buying the KDs?
Sure. Good point. Frawley, Dante, you guys have any questions?
I got one more for you. I saw something on your story this week. You said, what heavyweight competitors do you know? Give me some names, right?
Yeah.
That deserve a little more spotlight. Can you elaborate on that? Like what was the reasoning for the question is what I'm trying to say.
There is no concrete reason yet.
Okay.
If there was a reason, it would probably be called Clash of the Titans.
You hear that, folks? I knew there was something going on there.
Let's go.
But there is no Clash of the Titans right now at 8:38 this Wednesday. What day is it? What's the date?
The 8th.
The 8th of December. There is no Clash of the Titans.
On January 8th, it's at 8:38. You think there'll be a Clash of the Titans? Hypothetically,
anything's possible, man. You never know.
Just give the man some time, and we'll see what happens.
That's awesome.
Like I said, if I announce it now and then if things go south in 2 weeks, I'll look like a
yeah.
I would die of embarrassment.
100%. That's yeah.
But
under promise
I can say
and over deliver.
If I were to throw a heavyweight show, it would not be filled with guys that already have their place at the table.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can say that.
That's
awesome.
That's kind of what I thought you were getting at. And this is all obviously hypothetical, right?
Yeah, completely for science.
So I was like,
Frawley, you're gonna get your seat at the table, Frawley.
Yeah, maybe one day, right?
Big boy.
I can say that I would make it differ from the other ones in that it would be like an open casting call. Put it that way.
So what do you mean by that? Hypothetically, of course.
So with the other ones, we're doing invites and online qualifying. We're counting it, right? Yeah. This would be an open call, and the weights would be the thing that determine if you go or not.
Yeah.
Cool.
So my thing with shows, I don't mind invitations, and I go back and forth on this. I don't mind invitations if they are clear cut. Like if I ask you, okay, Anthony, how do I get to Clash the 80s? And, if I do this or this qualifier, they say, okay, these are automatic invitations and you can define them. I don't mind that because you're laying them out. But I think sometimes like with some of these, like World's Strongest Man, I think sometimes when you get to the last like 5-10 guys, it's like,
I have a lot of opinions on some of the athletes they bring in.
Yeah, I do too.
Is what it is. They're never going to win anyway. So
yeah, 100%.
So another interesting thing actually, up until about a month ago, I was going to do no invitations for any show at all. Even Clash 105. Even Clash 105, I was going to get rid of it completely and even if you won it, you had to requalify the next year.
Yep.
I got talked out of that. I'm going to allow the podium to get an invite. That's it though. Not the top 10 not top 10 like I did last year.
Right.
And again,
will there be a fan vote again for the 105s this year?
I don't know. So we're toying with the thought of a fan vote, or we might have a special where we take number 3 in every group and have them go head to head.
That's cool.
In like a bonus event.
Yeah.
We're kind of, or I might not do it. I might not even do that. I might just say, you should have done better.
Yeah. I thought, but that was the first time since I've been involved in strongman that I've ever seen an idea that I was like, that's actually creative, which is like, that's wild to say, but like the thing I want to I want to say, and I want to give you big props for is you coming into strongman last year, not as a competitor. We know that. We haven't even talked about your resume, which it's like, like my friends from home listening are like, who is this dude?
Right.
But I'll show them your Instagram and let them.
Yeah.
But,
It's all right. That's a past.
But I want to say the biggest props I have and the thing I'm most impressed with and thankful for is that you move the needle where federations and places cannot just be stagnant anymore and get by just getting by. And that's what I'm most thankful for. We say the quote all the time that competition forces growth. And I think you were the first guy that I haven't been in it my whole, I'm 27, but since I started, you're the first thing that's come in and been like, okay, needle has been moved. We can't just do this. You pay a membership, you do shows, and that's it. You took it to another level, and I think it's shown.
Well, there you go, humbling me again. I appreciate it. It's always a good thing when you can affect change in a positive manner, and I think it's been a positive change affected. And uniquely, I come from not only a competitive I was an athlete, but a recent athlete. Some people that promote things, they haven't competed in a long time, right? Very recently, I'm trying to kind of like keep an eye on the future while also fixing things how they were done in the past that I experienced. And again, a very unique in that I've had the opportunity to compete at so many different levels. I came in as a brand new amateur, not novice, but at a very low level show. I did the Plat Pluses back in the day, America's Strongest Man, World's Strongest Man, and then I got to travel overseas for Arnold Pros. So like I've just had this amazing experience across the spectrum of strongman. So I've been able to kind of gather everything that at the time I didn't even know this was doing this, but everything has sunk in, everything I experienced and saw, and I was able to learn from the good and learn from the bad. And you take those lessons and apply them, and that's how you get better.
Yeah. Are we ever going to see you compete again?
I would love to, honestly. I would love to come back next year and go head to head with Camby get my title back.
Oh,
but
love to see it.
I just got approved for a total knee replacement.
Oh.
That's how bad the knee is. So like, I'm still kind of. The problem is I can't do anything besides deadlift, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I can't move. I mean, I can move, but I can't yoke. It's just miserable.
I don't know, man. Your strict axle is pretty fun.
Yeah, that's insane.
Well, that's because I can't. That's because I can't push press. So I've had to develop that strict. So it just, like I said, it depends, but most likely no. But I would love to give, because I think, like I said, I think everyone would enjoy me and Camby going head to head.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, I've already beaten him a bunch, but not this Camby.
Yeah.
Don't call it a comeback.
That would do absolute numbies, you versus Camby. That would do.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I would. And another thing I regret is I took a solemn vow to never compete at my own shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll never happen because I would prefer to compete at Clash, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just the way it's ran. I guess that's weird to say, but like.
No, yeah. I mean, you're putting it on the way you want to, but I understand. Like.
Yeah. I've always said it was tacky to compete your own show. So
I agree. It's
not a shot at any giant human being.
But the thing,
be careful, everybody's sensitive nowadays. Jeez.
I know.
Yeah, dude.
Good Lord.
I got this Arnold thing I might take down.
Yeah, you better.
Man.
Oh man. Well, you guys have anything else for him?
I
got my questions answered.
Yeah, you guys got my question.
You're welcome anytime on the pod, man. We appreciate the time.
Oh, thanks for having me. Like I said, you guys are what makes the sport. Like another thing I want to say, I love how many little kind of podcasts and just communities getting together and doing this stuff, because that's what, I mean, it helps. You may not get the Rogan views, but everybody that views is potentially somebody new that didn't know me, that didn't know you. And it's fantastic. I love it. You guys are
right.
It's the 580 views now. Rogan needs our views.
We're burying Rogan.
There you go. Yeah, fuck you, Joe Rogan.
But Man, I hope to get you down at 580 Barbell one day when you're back in Western PA. You're welcome anytime. We'd love to have you down. Seriously.
I'll be there. I tell you what, the Steelers ever make the fucking playoffs again, I'll come.
So what are your
Ask you
thoughts
about
on that
that.
with Big Ben? Everyone's saying Big Ben's going to retire. We
They
saw
said
it
that.
today because the Steelers play Thursday night football. So
First off, I don't know why they do this to me every year, where we get blown out by the Bengals and we beat the Ravens.
Yep.
I hate it. I had just given up on them. And then they do this shit, and now I'm invested again.
Super Bowl's back on, baby.
It's back on. Stairway to 7 now.
Yep.
But it's not. Our offensive line has been terrible.
Kid.
That's what it is. I mean, look at James Conner. James Conner gets out of Pittsburgh, and now he's leading the league in touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's going to make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, it wasn't a James Conner problem. It was our offensive line that was trash.
I don't know. That sounds like some Erie bias to me.
That's true. That's true. That's a good point, Frawley. That's Erie bias.
First off, most Erie bias there are a lot of Cleveland fans in Erie.
Yeah, right. I was actually surprised you were a Steelers fan, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's more Cleveland, honestly, in Erie.
Yeah. It's closer, isn't it?
About
Yeah,
the same, I think.
yeah. Well, I think we're actually closest to Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 70, 75 minutes away. And then an
Okay.
hour and a half to Cleveland, about 2 hours to Pittsburgh. Generally.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but yeah, in all seriousness, welcome on the pod anytime. We'd love to have you back.
Thanks,
man,
guys.
just
Appreciate it.
appreciate the time so much.
Thanks for
I'm just-
talking to us, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't say 9 o'clock because I would have been a little too drunk by 9. You got me at the perfect amount.
Good. We got you to say enough stuff, so we'll have some good clips for Instagram.
Stir
So
the pot a little
take a
bit.
10-second clip and we just take it out of context.
Did you think you weren't going to get a couple clips like that? I mean,
That's the game. I
We
love
knew
it.
we knew who we were having on. So.
yeah, you knew what you were doing.
Yeah. I'd have been disappointed if we didn't.
That's the beauty of no one paying my bills. You don't say fuck you. You don't pay my bills. I'll say what I
you're
want.
uncancelable.
Yeah, the Chappelle, right?
Well, thank you very much. Is there I guess we should say too, where anyone that's listening, so the people back in Beaver County, PA, my dad, my friends from college, everyone, like, who the hell is this dude?
Yeah.
Where can they find you at? Where can we help promote you?
Well, you can Google my name. A lot of stuff comes up.
You're not wrong.
I don't care about me so much, but ClashOnTheCoast105.com and StrengthlyCollective.com. Those are the things that are the engine driving this train. So just check that out. And if you see fit, buy some stuff or sign up for some coaching or whatever you want to do. If not, just share and support. I mean, it's all on you.
Awesome. Mr. Seat at the table, Anthony Fuhrman, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Later.
Now